Good morning. Something's really been on my heart for the last couple of days, and I just really feel that I am supposed to be sharing this testimony story. I was raised to believe that it was the welfare system and child support that destroyed the Black family. My father always said that, back in the days when a family was struggling and the woman went to apply for social services, she was told that she could get it if the man was out the house. And so what Black families did back in those days is they started off pretending like the man didn't live there. Like they would remove all his clothes and everything, because from what I'm told, they would even come out to check to see if the man was there or not. So they pretended not to live together. And eventually this pretending went to the women's like, okay, why do I need you here? Because I'm living good off the system. So you know what? I don't need you. I can do this by myself. And then child support, he said a man had no problem not only taking care of his kids, but he took care of other kids until child support came and took so much from them. Then it was hard for them to do for their kids because child support was taking so much from their check, and it didn't give the man an option to do extra because they took so much from him. So because I was raised this way, when I had my son, I had no intentions on taking my son's father for child support. However, I was working at Wilson Farms at the time, and I didn't have medical insurance, so I had to apply for Medicaid. When I was able to go back to work, I went back to work as a dental assistant, but still they didn't offer insurance. So I was, still had my Medicaid. And when my son was probably about 2.5 months old, I one day went home for my lunch break, and I had got this letter from the Department of Social Services. And it said that I had to go to court to petition my son's father for child support. So I called them and I told them that I wouldn't be coming because I wasn't interested in doing that. And they told me I had no choice. I says, what do you mean I don't have a choice? They said, you have to take him for child support because you are receiving Medicaid, I'm sorry. And so I said, well, what will happen if I don't? They said that if you choose not to come to court and petition him, you will be immediately removed from Medicaid, and we will give you 30 days to get insurance for your son. I says, okay, that's what I'll do. She says, well, I still suggest that you come to court. Just don't come to court. Still come, and we'll go from there. So I said, okay. So I went home that day, and I went in my closet, and I prayed, and I asked God. I says, I was told that I'm not supposed to do this, and I need your guidance and your help in making the right decision here. If I'm not supposed to do this, Father, I need for you to help me make this right. So I immediately started looking for work, calling everybody I know, seeing if they knew someone was hiring. And so one day my cousin called me and she says, Darlene, I know that you're looking for work, and I heard that there is this plant on Hyde Park, and I'm told they're hiring immediately on the spot. So I asked her the name. She couldn't remember the name. She said she just remembered they had orange poles. So I had, next day I got up and I left to go find this place. Let me tell you how the devil works. When I left my house, I got about 3 blocks away from the house and my car started putt-putting. So I'm like, okay, this is not going to make it. So I turned around and went back to the house. I called my sister and I said, Ann, I'm going to need to use your car because I have to go find this place that Brenda told me that's hiring. So I had to walk a very far distance from our house where we were living at the time to go to her job to get the car. But I did it. And I started riding up and down Hyde Park, and I found a place that was hiring. So I went in, I got the application, I filled it out, and I interviewed with someone, and they said I had to go for a drug test, and they would notify me there about a hiring date. I got hired on the spot. And so I said, well, when can I get benefits? I need medical benefits ASAP. And so she says, we have a 90-day wait period for the benefits and the union and all that whatnot. And so I says, well, I need them right away. She says, that's not a decision I can make. And so she says, let me get you to our vice president, Carol. So I was talking to Carl and I explained to him, I says, I need insurance right away. I need insurance day one I get this job. And so he explained to me again that that's not how they work. And he says, well, why do you need them right away? So I explained to him. I says, I'm on Medicaid right now, and they're trying to make me take my son's father to court for child support. And I don't believe in that. And I refuse to do that. And so they're going to kick him off in 30 days. So I need insurance for him right away. And so he looked at me. He says, you what? He said, could you repeat that? I says, I don't want to take my son's father for child support. I don't believe that I'm supposed to do that. He's my son. I made the decision to have him and wasn't married, so I have to take care of him. He says, wait 1 minute here. He went and got the president of the company, and Ernie came in, and Carol says, tell Ernie what you just told me. So I repeated my story to him. They looked at each other and they said, we never met a woman like you before. And Ernie says, I tell you what. He says, if you pass that drug test, I'm going to let you get insurance on the first day you walk in the door, because I respect what you just said to me. He says, but you got to pass that drug test. So I'm going to make sure you're not on drugs. He said, if you pass that drug test, I'm going to give you insurance day one, but you can't tell anyone. I said, fine. Went for the drug test. I passed. I started the job within a week, and I got the insurance day one. I went to court, and when we went before the judge told me how much I could get. We went through the whole scenario, and I said, Your Honor, I don't believe in this, and I don't want any money from him. He and I can handle this on our own. We don't need the court's help. The judge looked back. He says, what did you just say? I said, I don't need the help of the court system. I said, me and my son's father will work this on our own. He said, did you hear what you're saying? He said, did you hear how much I just told you can get from this man? I said, yes, I did. I said, but I'm able to take care of my son myself. And what he's going to do for his son, he's going to do it on his own free will. I know what your problem. You're still in love with this man. I tell you what. I'm not going to close your case. I'm going to put it on hold. And when you come to your senses, you can backdate your child support to this date, because I'm not closing it. He said, because I think that you're still speaking from love. He says, so we're not going to close this. And we walked out. And I have lived a good life taking care of my son myself. And that's why in my heart, I don't believe in taking a man for child support and making him do something he's not supposed to do. And I'm entitled to my opinion, and other people who disagree with that's fine. But I've been a single woman. I've taken care of myself, my son, my whole life. We've lived a good life. I've taken my son on trips to Disney World. I've taken him all different places. We went to every SeaWorld there is. We've lived a really good life without welfare and child support. So my testimony is that we have to stop depending on things, carrots that are dangled to us to make us believe that it can give us a better life, when really we give ourselves a better life. The system is just a trap. It's just a setup to get you dependent on them, and then they turn around and talk about you for depending on them. And I just, from my own experience, I just feel like that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, some people may disagree with me, but I just had to put out my testimony and my story of what happened. You know, I never took my son's father for child support. And I never complained about what he didn't do, because I know in the end, if there's really a problem there, that's between him and his maker. It's not up to me. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you all. Have a good day. Love you. Bye.